How is it going, everyone? 2026 is gonna be a massive year for big budget video games. There's a lot of big titles coming out. Resident Evil 9, you've got Marvel's Wolverine, you've got Grand Theft Auto 6, you've got a lot of titles coming out from Microsoft as well. Gears of War, Halo, Fable. You can go on and on with a lot of big titles. However, there are certainly a number of smaller titles coming out that you should be aware about, and one that I want to highlight today is Romeo is a Dead Man, coming from Grasshopper manufacturer Suda51. And if you're not familiar with Suda51 titles, man, if you're into wild, over-the-top action games, this should be right on your radar. This should be at the top of your list, and it's out very, very soon in just a few short days on February the 11th, and it's gonna come at a budget price point of $49.99. It's still been a little bit quiet as far as all of the exact details with the game, but I feel like they've shown enough where you can get pretty excited about the game. And if you're familiar with the history of Grasshopper Suda51, you're probably already, based on what you saw out of this game, thinking, yeah, this kind of wackiness and zaniness is right up my alley. So the game is going to be priced at $49.99, and I want to highlight some of the information that you should know before you spend your $50. In fact, you probably won't even be able to spend your $50 until the game actually comes out, because there is no pre-order option on Steam, on the PlayStation Store, and Xbox right now. And unfortunately, there will not be a physical release off the bat. I know, that's a bit of a bummer. Maybe sometime down the line they'll add a physical release. I do give them a little bit of a pass on this, because this is a totally self-published game by Grasshopper. Grasshopper is the developers. They don't have a publisher that they're working with to get the game out, so they've had to handle everything on their own. I would imagine, based on the reception of the game, maybe down the line they'll do a physical release, but in this scenario I can understand why they decided to go with the digital-only release for the time being. But again, based on the gameplay we've seen thus far, this game looks so over the top and absolute insanity as far as an ultra-violent action title, and that's what it's described as, ultra-violent science fiction. And if you watch the story trailer as well, the story introduction trailer, you get a little bit of that vibe that, okay, you're about to embark on some Suda51, some Grasshopper wackiness. The story starts off with the main character finding a woman on the side of the road named Juliet. He gets super into the woman, but all of a sudden things go awry, and it's not going too well. This game's story starts with the space-time itself being shattered by a certain incident. Romeo, too, on the brink of life and death, finds himself revived by a new kind of super technology. Thus, he is recruited for the FBI space-time police as a special agent and wanders the cosmos in search of criminals who have taken advantage of the situation at hand in an attempt to bring justice back to the universe. At the same time, he looks for clues concerning his missing girlfriend, Juliet, and quickly comes to find both her disappearance and the destruction of space may be more linked than he thought. Donning the mask called Dead Gear, what awaits Romeo at the edges of space and time? I would imagine that this is a story that's gonna have a little bit of a comedic tone attached to it. I'm sure it'll have its serious moments, but again, you know, with Suda51, you're gonna get a little bit of comedy in there as well, a little bit of wackiness. But just expect a sheer level of insanity. In the story trailer, it was noted there was a day that Romeo and Juliet were set to elope, but a white devil shows up at Romeo's house. Instead, the white devil attacks Romeo, ending up tearing him to pieces, leaving him to die. However, the hyper technology of a genius scientist and Romeo's own grandfather, Professor Benjamin, Romeo's life is in fact saved. However, he becomes the dead man who now lives. Romeo was reborn as a dead man, hence the name of the game, Romeo is a Dead Man. Look, the narrative's got its wackiness, but this is a game that its heart and soul is going to be dictated by its gameplay, and the gameplay is absolute insanity. Yes, you've got the stylish close quarters action combat melee style of gameplay, but you'll also have guns at your disposal, and you'll have interesting dodge and dash mechanics in there as well. Wipe out the waves of enemies that stand in your path to give birth to a new kind of bloody action, and take down the fearsome space-time criminals that await. Absorb the blood of your enemies to unleash Romeo's special attack, the Bloody Summer, capable of turning any situation around. Romeo's various weapons can be strengthened and altered as the story moves forward as he takes on even stronger enemies. This is Grasshopper Manufacture's first brand new title in years, and you can expect a new unpredictable title that stands atop decades of experience as well. I do expect something a little bit gruesome, a little bit bloody to say the least, and it is more of a mature title. And again, with a $49.99 price point, I give them a little bit of a pass of it being a digital-only release. When you factor that in, it being a $50 title with it being a self-published game, look, I would love a physical copy, especially a game like this. Like, I would imagine the people that are interested in a game inherently like Romeo is a Dead Man would want a game like this physically, but given the circumstances, I can at least understand the decision making, and this being a self-published title by Grasshopper. If you're not familiar, Grasshopper also did do Shadows of the Damned Hella Remaster, which that's an awesome game as well. They did the Silver Case way back, and of course Suda51 has worked on games like No More Heroes, and Romeo is a Dead Man looks to retain the wackiness while turning that action gameplay, the bloody ballet so to speak, up to 11. It should be a worthwhile title. Hack and slash third-person shooter hybrid. You've got ultra-violent gameplay, bloody action, and you'll be able to switch between a variety of swords, katana style for melee, and again, guns. You'll have Bloody Summer for instant kills, and you'll be able to upgrade and update your weapons as well. Bosses will be there, grotesque mutants, zombies, and there will be a variety of missions, mini games, things of that nature that you'll be able to take on as well. I would not expect something that is incredibly lengthy with a game like this, a Suda51 action-heavy title. You can't expect something that's going to be a 35-40 hour game. It's a budget title. While they haven't given us any specifics on how lengthy the game will be, I would imagine somewhere in the 10 to 13 hour range would suffice. And, you know, if it's an over-the-top action game that's enjoyable to play, I'm sure that there will be a little bit of replayability or just inherently just it being a quality game. These are the types of games that I go back and play, and given that this year is going to have a lot of RPGs and lengthy titles, sometimes getting a 10 to 13 hour game isn't the worst thing in the world, and if you're into over-the-top action games, certainly one to have on your radar. Romeo is a Dead Man is out on February the 11th. I do want to know one final thing, the system requirements on PC. If you're playing it on PC, minimum requirements, Intel Core i5 8400 or an AMD Ryzen 3 3100, 16 gigs of RAM, a GTX 1080 or an AMD RX 5600 XT. Recommended is a Core i7 10700F, Ryzen 5 4500, 16 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti, and an AMD Radeon RX 7600. We haven't gotten any verifications on whether or not this will be Steam Deck verified, but we'll see on that, given that now we've got Monster Hunter Wilds as deck verified. I don't know. I don't think Romeo is a Dead Man would be out of the realm of possibility being deck verified. But what does deck verified really even mean these days when Borderlands 4 is getting deck verified as well? But we shall see. Again, for fans of over-the-top action games, have this one on your radar. Romeo as Dead Man is officially out on February the 11th. It'll be priced at $49.99. Hyper-violent, bloody as all hell action title with an emphasis on its story a little bit, but do expect a little bit of wackiness there as well. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.